What is going on YouTube? Daisy the Gaming 22 here with another video here. This time it's for my 2024 Gaming Challenge results. Now, this is just a compiled list of all the challenges that I've done and pretty much have the games that pretty much did it with it. And I am really glad I have really taken part of this challenge. It's a really great way to tackle your backlog in many different ways. And again, I am really glad that I've taken part of it. But again, this is just a compilation of challenges that can be done and stuff. And like I said, I'm really glad that I have taken part of this challenge. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the results and see how I did. So, the first challenge is play a classic game that you've always wanted to beat. And for that game I chose Mario versus Donkey Kong. Now, Mario vs. Donkey Kong perfectly blends platforming and puzzling, remaining as compelling today as of 20 years ago. I loved how it stayed true to the GBA gameplay, keeping the core mechanics intact. The game is fairly easy and many puzzles can be bypassed if you've mastered the handstand, triple jump. Still, the accessibility makes it enjoyable for players of all skill levels. Later levels ramp up the difficulty, which I found very challenging but rewarding. Now, the game is really great. I love the story of it and how, like I said, how it literally kept all the mechanics from the Game Boy Advance version intact, and it really enjoyed it really good with some of the new worlds and stuff in it. Really made it a great game, an even better game. The next challenge here is play a hype game of 2023. And for that, I chose Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Now, Super Mario Bros. Wonder truly lives up to its name as it's brimming with wonder in every sense. The music is fantastic, and while there are a few stages with 5-star difficulty, not gonna spoil it, the overall challenge is lighter than its predecessor. It may not fully satisfy season series veterans, but the vibrant color and joyful world makes it up for it. The game continuously surprises and delighted me with its creative wonder effects, which briefly transform levels into unexpected, delightful ways, like a fun desert in the middle of each stage. Now, I absolutely enjoyed everything about Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I absolutely loved the gameplay of it, and it may not. I know some people may not like it, but it is a really great game. If you guys have not bought Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I would highly recommend playing it. The next challenge here is play a hype game of 2024. And for that, I chose Princess Peach Showtime. Now, Princess Peach Showtime is a delightful and accessible game that offers something for everyone with solid replay value, fun boss battles, vibrant colors, and dynamic environments. I enjoyed playing as Peach in her second solo adventure, and I am excited to see what Nintendo does next with her character. The game brings refreshing twists to the Mario universe, giving Princess Peach the spotlight she deserves with engaging gameplay and creative mechanics. With its blend of nostalgia and innovation, it really delivers a charming experience. And just to add on to that, I really liked the way that they did her like respective plays and stuff. And that's kind of like where the game really takes place. But I really like the way that they implemented the plays and her and like Detective Peach and Ice Skating Peach, and there's so many other more in that game. I really like how they implemented it. But if there's many other people, if you guys have not played it, I would recommend playing this game. Now, the next challenge here is play a random backlog game. And for that, I chose Batora Lost Haven. Now, Batora Lost Haven is a choice-driven isometric action adventure that blends hack and slash combat with twin stick shooter mechanics, all enriched by RPG elements and a unique duality system. Your decisions shape the story, dialogues, puzzles, and even the game's multiple endings, forcing you to question the true meaning of sacrifice. As you journey across different planets, you'll face moral dilemmas and uncover powerful themes of betrayal, friendship, and the thin line between good and evil. Now, in my opinion, this game really surprised me a lot by how the gameplay was, and the story was actually really, really good. And it really surprised me by the camera. Kind of reminded me of the what was it, Diablo, with its top down camera view. And again, I really enjoyed this game. Really one of the best games I've played in the on the Switch. And for those who have not played it, I would highly recommend it. The next challenge here is play a DS game. Now, for that, I chose Mario Hoops 3 on 3. Now, the game is actually surprisingly really good. I liked the way that it kind of makes you use the stylus on to do like specials and shoes. You can also play with the stick, but you have to use, like, if you want to do like any specials or anything, you have to use the touchscreen to do that. But I really liked how they implemented stuff from, what was it? I think like the characters from like some Final Fantasy characters, which is something I never knew. And it's actually did, for those who do not know, Square Enix, I believe, did develop the game. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's kind of why that there is some, what was it, Final Fantasy characters in it. But again, I really liked it. You might be able to find it for a reasonable price, but if anybody does find it, please do. I highly recommend playing it. The next challenge here is play a Nintendo Switch game. And for that, I chose Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. Now, I am generally surprised by how well the Switch version ran, and I absolutely enjoyed the game from start to finish. The story was absolutely really good. The gameplay was absolutely fantastic. And something that kind of threw me off about it was the performance issues on it. And sometimes that it could have felt a little bit clunky and stuff, but mainly the performance issues kind of dimmed down my enjoyment on it. But still, it is a fantastic game. If you guys are a fan of the Borderlands games, I highly recommend playing it. Now, the next challenge here is play a PlayStation 4 game. Now, for that, I chose the exact same game as the previous challenge, which is Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. Now, like I said in the previous challenge, it was absolutely fantastic. But and this time it looked a lot better with higher resolutions, frame rate 60 frames per second, by the way, and pretty much overall just felt a lot better. I just felt like, in my opinion, like I kind of forgot to say this in the previous versions, the pacing felt really off at certain points, and the humor of it kind of fell off a bit at some point. But and with its agent mechanics, like the cars and its clunky movement and stuff, it's actually really good and stuff. And but besides that, again, I still love the game a lot. But before I go to the next challenge, I did actually review this game. I will put the playlist up on the top right description and top right of the video, and it's also in the what was it in the description down below. Please go check it out. But besides that, I still love the game, and if you guys love the Borderlands games, I would highly recommend playing them. So the next challenge here is play a PlayStation game, but must be a PlayStation 5 game. And for that, I chose Borderlands 3. Now, I actually did platinum this game, and it took me 100 hours and 25 minutes to pretty much clear it. And I'm honestly really proud of myself that I actually took some time, committed to actually playing it and actually exploring all of it to its fullest. Now, Borderlands 3 sticks to its guns. It manages to outdo itself. The refined movement and shooting mechanics, and a legion of challenging and enjoyable enemies, and the largest arsenal of mechanically distant firearms I've ever seen in a video game, make it an outstanding experience with its trademark stylized art, short humor, and tattoo feud storyline. All are all engaging in their own right. But true highlight is the addicted loot grind that unfolds over 30 plus hours of meticulously crafted main and side missions. In my opinion, Borderlands 3 is absolutely one of the best games that I have ever played in general, with its story, gameplay, humor, and all of that. And the gameplay there is top tier. For those that are really new to the franchise and haven't really had a chance to play this one, I would definitely give this game a shot after playing, I would say, either Borderlands the pre-sequel or Tales from the Borderlands. But Borderlands 3 is a fantastic game. I highly recommend playing it. Oh, also, something else I forgot to mention is I will be reviewing Borderlands 3. I'm currently in the process of playing it now, so kind of stay tuned for that when the time comes. The next challenge here is play a game outside your comfort zone. And for that, I chose Fortnite. Now, for those who do not know, I am absolutely not a fan of battle royales. Why is because I just straight up just could not get into it. I've tried many other battle royales before, and it just felt bland. The stuff just I think it's just the core gameplay just of all battle royales in general. It's the same. You loot, you kind of get first place. It's just same thing over and over again. It's just all around boring. I just straight up just couldn't get into it. But however, I will admit that Fortnite was a fantastic game. Of like a fantastic battle royale that the pretty much the one I probably could get into, but really couldn't. But again, I'm not really a fan of battle royales, and that's kind of why I even chose this one as my game outside my comfort zone. The next challenge here is play a hype indie game. And for that, I chose River City Girls Zero. Now, River City Girls Zero is a nostalgic and enjoyable journey back to the 16-bit era of beat 'em up games. The pixel art style is charming, and the soundtrack complements the retro atmosphere, creating a fun and quirky vibe. It offers retro fans a solid combination of action, humor, and challenging gameplay. Although the gameplay is simpler compared to modern beat 'em ups, the character interactions and nostalgic appeal stand out. However, throughout my playthrough of this game, the gameplay difficulty spikes and the limited enemy variety can lead to frustration at times. But I still enjoyed this game in general, and if you like the old school beat 'em ups, I highly recommend playing this one. The next challenge here is play a game you started and stopped a while ago. And for that, I chose The Last of Us Part 2. I know it says The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, but I've played the original version of it. But yeah. Now, fun fact, I did play The Last of Us Part 2 a while ago. I think back in 2020 when it originally launched, but ended up stopping for some reason and never came back to it until probably the end of 2023 and finally decided to do it on the hardest difficulty. Now, The Last of Us Part 2 is a fantastic game in general. I felt like the stealth mechanics is top tier and the colors, the vibrance and stuff and everything is actually really good. If you like a really gritty story and everything, I would highly recommend playing The Last of Us Part 2. The next challenge here is play a game that you will buy on day one and not stop. And for that, I chose South Park Snow Day. Now, in my opinion, I think the game is really good, but I think the game could have done a lot better in certain aspects. Like, for example, the upgrading system, like the card system and stuff, could have done a lot better. I feel like the game was really lacking a lot of content. I know there was only like 5 chapters in the game, which is only like an hour each, but I think they could have added a little bit more chapters into it, like maybe like 3, 4 more or anything about that. But in my opinion, I think the game could have done a lot better with some stuff. If you guys have not played this one, I kind of would recommend it, but if you do, I would wait for a sale on it. The next challenge here is play a game that has been remastered, remade, or ported from a previous console. And for that, I chose Borderlands, the pre-sequel. In my opinion, the story is fantastic. It started a little slow, but halfway through, the interactions between characters, especially through the story and optional missions, are incredibly great, especially if you play as Athena. The gameplay was generally nice, but several areas could have been improved, such as low gravity mechanics and vehicle controls, which seemed clunky at times and were difficult to handle, resulting in a few deaths if not being careful. During fierce combat, it may be frustrating to worry about your shield, health, and recharging the OZ kit, which can also lead to death if not handled well. While it may not achieve the heights of its predecessors, it still is a must play for both series enthusiasts and beginners alike. Now, in my opinion, I enjoyed this game in general. There's some stuff that, like I said, this stuff could have been improved on. And like I said, I'd still recommend it. Another fact is I did review this game too. The review playlist is in the description down below. It is also up. I'll probably also put the video up in the top right of the video. But if you guys want to see the review of the game, which is what I obviously did, the playlist link is in the description down below. Please go watch it. But if you guys like to watch it, it is in the description down below. And again, I would highly recommend playing the game. The next challenge here is play a game on Nintendo Switch Online. And for that, I chose Wild Guns. In my opinion, this game was actually really good. It kind of took me a little bit while to actually get used to the controls and stuff, but it was a really difficult run and gun shooter, and I honestly enjoyed it. Enjoyed it with the time I played with it. It took me like I said, it took me a couple tries to actually get used to the controls and stuff. But again, if you guys have NSO, which is Nintendo Switch Online, I would give this game a shot. The last challenge here is play a game on Switch that was previously released for the Wii or Wii U. And for that, I chose Pokken Tournament DX. Now, Pokken Tournament DX is a fantastic fighting game that excels on every level. The core gameplay is absurd, offering a deep and satisfying experience, and the attention to detail is outstanding. With new features, characters, and modes, the game keeps things fresh and exciting. I especially love the dynamic phase shifting, which keeps you on your toes and adds a layer of strategy to each match. Overall, it's been an incredibly enjoyable experience and a fantastic fighting game in its own right. Now, there is a bonus that I included in this one, and there's a total of 3, and how you can get it is just a total of 3 challenges, but you can do it in either one. But the challenges are, for the bonus, is play a game to 100% completion, get a platinum trophy for a PlayStation game, or finish a game longer than 50 plus hours in length. And I ended up doing the get a platinum trophy for a PlayStation game, and for that, I chose Astro's Playroom. Now, I actually ended up getting a platinum for this, and it only took me about 8 hours for it, but I absolutely loved this game, and it really kind of introduces you to the PS5 and how the controller works and how pretty much how the system works in general. And I really think that Astro's Playroom did a fantastic job with implementing levels and worlds on how the PS5 actually works. And I do like the fact that they did some collections when it comes to when it has like collectibles when it comes to like the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2, I think PS3, and I think also they did with the 4 though. But again, I really like the way that they did it, and again, it is a fantastic game. Fun fact, this game is also pre-installed on your PS5, and I would highly recommend playing it. Honestly, I think I really did enjoy taking part of this challenge, and I really enjoyed it as it is a really great way to tackle through your backlog in really different ways and stuff. I'm really am again, I'm super glad that I'm able to take part of this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what 2025 has to offer. But again, I really think that this is a great challenge for those who want to take part of it in 2025. Please do so. I would highly recommend it as it is a great way to tackle through your backlog doing some of the challenges. All right. That is going to do it for this video. I want to say thank you guys for watching until the very end. If you actually did take part of this challenge, please let me know your results in the comment section down below. But Please like, comment, and subscribe, as this helps my channel grow more and have more people watch more of my content. But thank you guys for watching. This is Dizzity Gaming 22, and I'm out of here.